Hello, Circleville community, and I'm honored to be here today at the Healthcare Logistics. They are the proud sponsors of the OSU Marching Band appearance in tonight's 108th annual Circleville Pumpkin Show Parade of the Bands. I have done a lot of research on the company, and I felt that it was very important that the community understand what really goes behind Gary and Connie's performance and activities here in Circleville. So without further ado, I would like to introduce both Connie and Gary Sharpe. Welcome.
Thank you.
Connie and Gary are both alumni of The Ohio State University. Can you give us a little bit of history on what you did at Ohio State, what your degrees were, and we'll go from there.
I am a graduate of the College of Nursing class of 1969, and I held football season tickets as a student, and my seats were right where the ramp is, and the band came out right there. That was almost a highlight of my college career.
Yes, I had the honor of going to a couple of OSU games as well, and still the best thing in the world is when that band comes up out of that tunnel. It's such an overwhelming feeling. So Gary, what about you?
I graduated in 1970 with a bachelor's degree from the College of Arts and Sciences. I was able to have tickets a couple years, but I basically had to work my way through college, so Ohio State, so I didn't make many games, but once I got out, we've been going to the games ever since. For a while we'd try to go to 1 or 2 away games, but things got busy and that dropped off the schedule.
Sure. So did you meet your lovely wife there? At least I'm assuming you did.
We met when we were freshmen, but we never dated until after both of us graduated. We ran into each other at a party that summer after I graduated, and worked out.
Well, that's great. Now we would like for you to share a little bit about the history of healthcare logistics. We all know that it was founded by the both of you. So if you could share with us a little bit about how it all got started and then grew to what it is today, that would be wonderful.
Well, I went to work right out of Ohio State for, it was then called Phillips Roxanne Laboratories in Columbus, Ohio. They were the human pharmaceutical branch for N.B. Phillips out of Holland, if you think Norelco razors and lighting, and they developed the laser CD, they developed the cassette recorder. And I worked there for 8 years, and had a lot of customers. They needed a lot of things that they couldn't get to help run their hospitals, especially their pharmacies. Phillips Roxanne wasn't interested in doing it, and I didn't do very well in corporate life in a large international corporation, so I left, and out of my garage and spare bedroom out here in Circleville, I started the business and just kept growing it ever since. Been able to travel all over the world, sell and distribute, help hospitals and peoples all over the world. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Well, that's fabulous. I never really have been in your facilities until today, and I was privileged enough to get a quick tour, and I'm very impressed with everything I saw. And the warehouse, it's immaculate. So kudos to both of you for that. Now, Connie, if you could share with us a little bit about your involvement with the company, like what is your role other than being his main supporter, of course?
My role in the beginning was to keep a steady income as a nurse. And then as the company grew, I was able to lead nursing and handle the office part of the company. And so that way I could be with our 2 children as they were growing up and needed doctor's appointments and school functions. Whereas as a nurse, I was in the hospital and more committed to being there the solid 8 hours. So right now there's probably 4 departments doing what I did in half a day. So eventually then, as we hired on more people, I was able to focus in on just the accounting department. And after 25 years, I decided to be a full-time grandma and retired.
Very good. So how many companies or hospitals and pharmacies would you say you service at this time?
Oh, our customer base is probably around 56,000 customers all over the world.
Wow. And do you have locations anywhere other than Circleville?
Yes, we've got 3 up in Columbus, one in Urban Crest, one in Grove City, one in Galloway. and I have 2 businesses in England that service United Kingdom as well as Europe out of there.
Wow. So when would you say was the time when healthcare logistics started to really take off and companies and hospitals started utilizing your services?
We struggled mightily into the mid-90s, and then the late 90s we were able to hit a critical mass with customers and new products. And the markets all over the world were fairly stable at that point, so we were able to do a lot of growing. And then, of course, since 2008, it's been difficult for everyone. And then, of course, with the Affordable Care Act coming in, that really set our healthcare customers, well, anybody providing healthcare, everybody's still adjusting. So.
Very good. So this is your second year of actually sponsoring the Ohio State Marching Band coming to the Circleville Pumpkin Show, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. It's a big excitement for the community knowing that we have a major college band coming in for our performance at the Parade of Bands. So do you have children that have gone to Ohio State? And if so, can you tell us a little bit about the family?
Let you take that one.
No, neither of our children opted for Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
They went to Ohio colleges, but not Ohio
Sure.
State. And we've kept in touch with our colleges and the Department of Geography at Ohio State, and as well as the Alumni Association when we lived here in Pickaway County, and now we're active with the Southwest Florida Collier County Alumni Association in Florida. So we've tried to stay in tune and in touch
Sure.
throughout the years.
Right. And you guys, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, another thing that we've done in the College of Nursing, we have an Endowed Scholarship, and then in the Department of Geography, we also provide an Endowed
Okay.
Scholarship.
Who's allowed to try for the scholarship? Like, what is the criteria for it?
Well, we asked that it be based, number one, on need, and also for somebody that just needed a chance. University has become so focused on just your grade point average and your SAT and other standardized test scores that a lot of people, unfortunately, get left out. But Ohio State is so big, they seem to have their own criteria for who gets those scholarships.
Right. So you visited the Ohio State University last week, and I don't believe it was the two of you, but a couple of your colleagues who went. And I understand that they handed out gift bags from Healthcare Logistics. So how did your colleagues, and I believe they were Sandy Alton and Eric Lemaster who went, what did they come back and say about the band's reception of their gift bags?
I haven't talked to her yet.
Okay.
We just got in.
Yes, you guys are just coming in from Naples, is that right? Yeah. Well, we're very excited that you had a moment to sit here today and let the community know a little more about you and the role you both played in getting this business started. It sounds like a fantastic opportunity for folks that are in special needs of harder to find items. So as alumni, it's like, go Bucks, and we're very glad that the Ohio State Marching Band gets to be with us once again this year, compliments of Healthcare Logistics. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon, and we'll probably see you downtown later tonight.
Yeah, I would add, my mother was a big fan, so.
Was she? Well, that's wonderful. And it definitely seems like it goes through the history of your family. Thank you so much for taking time and being here today to let us learn a little bit more about you. And I will see you later today at the Parade of the Bands. There you go.
Hi, Richard. Street security all
Cool, thank switch? I would love to, yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then they got closer.
She's serious too.
I would love to. No. Sorry, I can't. You what? You know the fight songs?
That was not even that was a question.
Hey.
Yeah, it's right on the other side.
thank you goes out to Gary and Connie Sharpe, owners of the Circleville Healthcare Logistics, for sponsoring the band's performance in tonight's parade. Healthcare Logistics has been locally owned by the Sharpe family since 1978.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hold myself back. Wow, have we been treated?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the Ohio State Marching Band, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I tell you, that was neat.
A big thank you to the Healthcare Logistics and Connie and Gary Sharpe for sponsoring this band to come and entertain our community tonight.
Very good. Good deal. Loving every minute of it.
What your name is?
My name's Andrew Craner.
Hi Andrew, what grade are you in at the university?
I'm a fifth-year senior.
Fifth-year senior, and what instrument do you play for Ohio State?
Bass drum.
Bass drum. So what was the tryouts like?
They're pretty tough, especially because we do them in August. They get really hot, and it's a long process. You're on your feet for sometimes 12, 13, 14 hours a day, out marching the whole time, so they can be really tough.
And have you been a member all through your college years? Or?
I have been since sophomore year, so 4 years.
Yeah. And how was the trip coming to Circleville?
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I've actually never done this before. I think I was in the year after the last time they were here, so it's fun to be able to do this.
Very good. Well, we certainly appreciate you being down here. We know what hard work it is, and with all the academic stress and everything, so thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Hi, I have with me Kelsey.
Kaylee.
Kaylee, what year are you in at the university?
This is my 5th year.
Okay, your 5th year. Have you been a marching member of the band since freshman?
I have, yes. I made it as a 17-year-old, so.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what high school did you graduate from?
I went to Oak Hill High School in Jackson County.
Okay, and you still live around there when you're not at school?
Yes, my family still lives down there.
All right, and who is your family?
I have Kim McGlone, Rob McGlone, and then my grandparents, Sharon and Bob Holler.
Okay, and how was the trip coming down here tonight?
It was great, super comfortable.
What'd you think about the crowd's recognition of you guys tonight?
Oh, it's so great, so wonderful just to have that support. It means a lot.
Very good. Well, we certainly appreciate you being here. You guys did an outstanding job in our community. Definitely appreciate you.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Nate. What a fantastic job tonight. We thank you.
Thanks so much. we don't get to do parades very often, so this was awesome. So many people came out, and the energy was just amazing. So.
Right. Now, are you the first time field commander or drum major, I should say, sorry?
This is my second year, and it's the third year for the other guy. So we got some experience, but it's funny because both of us were here in 2010 as understudies at the drum majors.
Okay.
And now it's great to come back 4 years later and actually be out there performing. So
fantastic.
Had a great time.
So what was the tryouts like this year?
Well, tryouts are really competitive every year. It's just so intense and everything's on the line, but you just got to stick to your training and believe in your abilities and kind of fight through the pressure. Now, and it's all worth it because to be a part of the band for the whole season is just incredible.
Sure.
So.
Now, were you a drum major at your high school prior to this?
I wasn't actually.
Really?
I started right when I got to Ohio State, and luckily we have a free training program for any high school or any college, any Ohio State student who wants to learn how to be drum major. Usually we start them early on in high school, but I was kind of a late starter. But
wow. I was wondering, so you really came into this with no experience and you picked it up and here you are today.
Yeah, I just kind of fought through the experience thing and trusted my practice and made it.
Very
so
good. And so what are you majoring in?
I'm studying public policy.
Okay.
So
very good. We know you have a long trip back to Columbus, and again, we can't thank you enough. The community enjoyed it. So
we would love to come back anytime. It was a great event.
Very good.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll be back. Thank you so much.